located in the state of Montana.
Yes, I believe that it's important to get a higher education. In previous generations, it was important to get a high school education, at least that. And then the next generation was, of course, that you at least had to get an AA degree. But in order to create a level playing field for Indian people, we now need to get at least a BA degree.
I think it's extremely important. Today's culture, in which is predominantly white, I feel it's extremely important for education for all Native people.
Do I think it's important for Native Americans to get bachelor's degrees? Yeah, I do. I think it's very important. I think it's pretty self-evident. Why? It's the future of being self-sustainable, is having some kind of secondary education.
I think it's important not only on an individual level, but for the community, because they are part of a whole.
I believe yes, it's very important, especially in this century or this day and age. The only way right now for tribes to move forward.
I think it's fundamentally important for American Indians to get a college degree because we're operating in a system that's not ours, and we have been for the last 500 years. And I think the opportunities that are available for American Indians to learn all different facets of higher education would be beneficial for not only on reservation but off reservation for our communities.
Yeah, I think it's very important for Native Americans to get higher education. It's just one of the only things you can do today to make a difference. Education helps you think outside the box. If you learn what other people know and what other people have founded their society on, then with that you can make a change. So
today natives are one of the, it's very common to see natives go to school for the sole purpose just to go back. Whereas in the past, you go to school to leave and not come back. And so, I mean, the importance has definitely raised.
I attended Chief Donneknife College from 2002 to 2004. Got my Associates of Arts and chose U of M. Going to the tribal college paid off a lot and got me more prepared and got a lot of my credits out of the way and got used to that college lifestyle, learning and studying and writing papers.
I studied at Salish Kootenai College for, I think, a total of 4 years, but off and on over like a 9-year span actually, just because of work and stuff, life. And then I graduated in 2011 with an associate's degree in Native American Studies, and then I transferred to the University of Montana to pursue a bachelor's degree in Native American Studies and Anthropology.
did you attend a tribal college?
No.
Yeah, I went to Blackfeet Community College in Browning, and for me personally, I thought it was great. I thought it was very helpful. But also at BCC, you know, you're surrounded by your natives, and a lot of the instructors are Native, and you know, you see that pride in being Native going to the tribal schools.
I attended the Blackfeet Community College. I was a 4-year student at a 2-year institution. But originally I went in and I got my 1-year certificate, and at the moment I thought that was good enough for me. I got my CDL and my certificate in heavy equipment. I wanted more. I think the college experience at the tribal college level was really significant in my life. Number one, it gave me a great sense of community. And number two, it helped get me ready to leave home for the first time. I'm almost 50 years old, and this is the first time I've ever left home or lived away from home.
I did. I actually went to Salish Kootenai College. I have 2 associate's degrees, one in forestry and one in fish and wildlife from there. And it was an interesting experience for me particularly. I went to a white high school in upstate New York, and it was important to me to go to a school where I was going to be surrounded by people who were like me.
I attended Blackfeet Community College for 3 semesters where I took prep courses of science and math. Some of the classes came over as fulfillments of your general, and some of them were preparations for like my chemistry and stuff like that, so it did help.
I did not attend a tribal college. I went to the Missoula College, which was formerly the COT. Got my associate's degree there, and then transferred over to here, University of Montana, and graduated in 12 days with a bachelor's in psychology.
You are now part of that less than 1%.
I'm a less than 1%er then.
Native American Studies courses are important for both non-Indian and Indian students and faculty and staff of educational institutions to know. Partly because the history of Montana is barely a century old as a state, but for thousands of years, Native Americans or American Indians, whatever, indigenous people lived within what is now Montana.
For natives, because it gives a better look at other native cultures instead of just one specific. For non-natives, it gives an outlook for all the native people that are in America, in this country, that are living in this country, what had happened to them.
I've learned so much from those classes that I didn't know, even about my own people, other tribes. Yeah, I think it's very significant that we learn about each other as well as our own people, and I think they're very important.
And I would say American history and Native American history go hand in hand. In every significant event that America has had, Indians have been a part of it in some way. And a lot of people don't know those stories. And that's why I call Native American Studies learning the real American history.
Honestly, the more I'm in NA's classes, the more I realize that this should be required education for everyone.